This week on the Face Off Hockey Show, we've got some fun stories to tell from our weekend. We'll also talk about the Olympic jersey debacles. God, those things look terrible. Speaking of terrible, the Arizona Coyotes are historically bad. We'll get into that, and also how you can be the next goaltender for your Vegas Golden Knights. All that more next on Face Off Hockey Show. Get it on there!
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
Choose your command. You have chosen
the Face Off Hockey Show.
I mean, hockey is my life. I've got on hockey underwear right now.
The Face Off Hockey Show. What? With Scotty Waz. Sean O.
breakaway.
And the P-Boys, Johnny and Mark with the C.
Yeah, baby.
You believe it not? Oh, yes!
Here's your host for the Face Off Hockey Show, Scotty Waz.
Hey, everybody. Happy Wednesday to you, or whenever the hell you're listening to this thing. It's Face Off Hockey Show time. I am indeed Scotty Waz, as radio's Todd Butts has told us. I'm joined currently by 1/3 of the Patanzo men. 1/4 actually of the 1/18th, according to Sean Leahy, of the Patanzo men. Johnny P.
Yep, that's true.
Festive garb you are, sir.
I know. It's Hudson's 1 month birthday. Will be tomorrow. So
nice.
I've got on a light blue tuxedo T-shirt. Even got a little boutonniere over there.
It's class.
So yeah, good on you, Hudson.
Does it have a cummerbund?
Let me check. No cummerbund.
No cummerbund. I hate when that happens. Hate when that cummerbund happens.
Nope. No cummerbund.
And our delay helped us get 2 of the 18 Patanzo men on the line. Mark with the C has just joined us as well.
Got a new subscriber during the show.
How about that?
How do I sound? Does it sound okay?
Hey, buddy. You sounding good. Is this a new mic?
Nope, same mic.
Same mic, new setup.
Different boom. Also turned the yeah, I guess having the mic here doesn't really help with seeing the things behind me, but you know, whatever.
It looks like there's a door that's just spawned up at the behind you too.
Yeah, I turned the desk 90 degrees.
Okay.
So it's a little better this way, feng shui, I think.
I was gonna say, like, well, I don't remember
degrees though, right?
No, Nick Lachey.
No, Nick is still. I don't know, where is he these days.
I
don't know, but I still probably have yet to fix my microphone woes, but we shall see. How does it sound? Does it sound okay?
So far, so good. We're
too
doing
close.
well.
Not close enough. Should I crank up the gain a little bit? There we go.
Gain, recognize gain, son. You're doing fine. But Mark, Johnny and I both have had weekends.
Yeah,
so
we had weekends.
We're about to tell our weekends.
All right, get her done.
Starting with Johnny.
So that's smart of me. I turned the computer on this morning before I left work, which allowed it to surprisingly update Windows during the day. Got home from work, clicked on update and restart. Took 30 minutes for it to come back on. So thankfully, I outsmarted the computer, outsmarted completely. But I also just built a standing desk.
Very nice.
Yeah, I used IKEA and hacked IKEA. I bought a IKEA TV stand. It came with a shelf. I bought two IKEA shelf brackets, and I bought 2 hinges from Lowe's. All black, because that's how it has to roll. But all in $30 to build a TV stand. It's a little. You can see it right there. That's what it looks like. It's on my island right now. A little tall on the island, considering the island is a little tall in itself. But on the desk in my guest room, that'll be perfect. Boom. Up, and there it goes off. But yeah, plus I was telling Scotty the genius of it is that the hinges allow the shelf brackets to swivel out, which still allows me to put the printer and other stuff underneath of the of the TV or the
Very
TV
nice.
stand.
Very nice.
Yeah, pretty smart, huh?
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah. So knock that out before the show. Took me less than an hour to knock that out.
What was faster, getting that desk done or the computer updating?
Actually, I did them both at the same time. Here's the irony of IKEA stuff. So IKEA gives you on these side tables and TV stands and stuff. They give you a screw that's about this long, and it's got like a stopper in the middle of it, but you're supposed to screw it into two different sides. And the picture shows you just using your hand and screwing it into like the base of the or the top of it. In this case, there's zero chance that you will ever be able to do that. Like they don't even give you a cool little tool or like make it look like an octagon, so you can use one of like the little like ratchet type things. No,
Allen wrench.
no, that's all they have.
Yeah.
Maybe if they made a little hole in the side so you could use an Allen wrench and just turn it, it would work. But the best way to do it, kids, if you're putting together IKEA furniture, is to take the actual leg and put it on the top and start screwing them both in together. And at some point, both of them catch.
Hear
Just
that,
remember
kids? Screw them both.
Screw both. Screw them from both sides.
Great. Anything else?
So yeah, that was my day.
Yeah. Was that today? What was today?
I did it right before the show.
Oh wow. Efficient.
We didn't lose a hockey game this week.
Hey.
We also have only gotten points out of any game I didn't give up a goal. So we got that going.
Hockey
for us.
game or
Playoffs
soccer
on
game?
Monday. Soccer.
Okay.
Playoffs on Monday.
Nice.
Yeehaw. Playoffs. And Mark, I was talking about my shirt before you came on. I'm celebrating Hudson's first birthday. Fun month.
Oh yeah. It was that's great. It's a very
It's tomorrow.
fancy shirt you got there.
Very festive, light blue
Mhm.
tuxedo t-shirt. Just making it happen.
Nice. You and the cap make it happen. Anything else there this weekend, sir?
I spent a lot of time in Alexandria this past weekend, finding out
Interesting.
some new places and such to go to. I went to an event called Story District on Saturday night. It was a bunch of people telling stories. It was interesting. Interesting event. Went with some friends.
Nice.
And yeah. All in all, making it happen. I have a little bit of tailoring. My suit from London is getting tailored, just like Tim. So that should come back looking fantastic. I should look great for the death wedding. That's
Who's
what
going to
we're
be the
calling
star
it,
of the
right?
death wedding?
Ugh.
Who's going to be the
That's-
star of the
that's-
death wedding?
I don't know.
Aren't you going to be the star of the death wedding? I heard that you were presiding. You're
I'm the
like
Death
the-
Star.
You're the official.
I am the
Oh.
official. I'll have a
You're
yellow
the
card and a
official
red
Death
card.
Star.
I need
Hold
a
on,
You
whistle.
should
Here's the
actually.
thing.
Do you want me to give you a couple? I'll give you some that you can write on.
Here's the problem though, is that if you have a yellow card, you have to
Just
appreciate
work
the
it
drum. You have to appreciate the drum solo though. If
It's
you have a
true.
yellow card.
Yeah,
So
just sit and wait.
That is true. We're 15 years into appreciating drum solos.
by the way, I bought Ocean Avenue today at a thrift store. No joke. It was 49 cents. I'm like, sure, why not?
Did you get Park Place too?
I rolled on Baltic, son. You know me. Well, that's cool. Death wedding. That sounds
Yeah.
so metal.
Heading to the death wedding.
My God. All right. Well, Mark's in his last few days here of paternity leave.
It's true. Now, this time next week, I will be back at work.
Wow.
It went so fast.
It usually does, brother.
Yeah.
It usually does.
Yeah.
He's
Hey,
been here
that's
for a
what's up.
month.
That's true.
Is he talking yet?
I'm pretty sure that whenever he has a message, he sends it loud and clear. It might not be in English, but the message always gets received.
There, there
Whether
it
it's poopy diaper or he's hungry or
I did enjoy the I think it was Instagram or Snapchat where he had his poopy face.
Oh yeah, Snapchat. That's I think the first Snapchat I ever sent out.
Yeah.
There was a dancing poo emoji. I had to use it somehow.
Good work.
Thanks.
Quality work. By the
I
way,
mean, it's-
quality work on Snapchat part 2.
Is that what Snapchat is for? I've never actually used it.
Snapchat used to be.
I haven't for some
Snapchat
reason.
used to be for like like dick pics and boob pics. Now it's just like people turning their faces into animals and then like poop emojis and then dancing hot dogs. From what I hear from the millennials.
All right. This sounds like a very interesting. I mean, I have it. I just don't know what it's for, so I don't use it.
I don't really know. It's like a fast Instagram.
Should the Face Off Hockey Show have a Snapchat?
Absolutely.
Is that what I should have used at the draft instead of taking pictures and posting them on Facebook?
Possibly, and then you put like you put it in the story section, and people see your stuff. It's really I don't know how it works. honestly.
I don't know. Maybe I should have thought of that.
Snapchat's the one thing I never learned how to use. So, by
By
the way,
about Vine.
Vine was 6 seconds. I can't get my
That's gone,
comedy out in
isn't it?
6 seconds. Yeah, it's done, but I can't get my comedy out in 6 seconds.
That was short lived.
Well, I think Facebook bought it or somebody, and then like the yeah, I don't know. By the way, speaking of social media, our Patreon is almost done. I'm finishing up right now, so
Wow. I'm gonna have dates coming out the wazoo at some point soon.
we're gonna have a $1, $5, and $8, the Liute, the Langways, and the Ovies, for our tiers.
That's smart.
So didn't get up here. I could have had a $7 for the Labres, but I'm like, that's too close to the $5. We need a little bit of thing in there.
It's like Apple. Smart. You need enough
Right?
that it's like, that's not too much. I'll throw that in, but you like don't really need it.
Right, because
Yeah.
they get everything the $5 people get, but they're just getting a little extra. So, yeah, I just have to figure out how to word this because it's of the Face Off Hockey Show media faction. So it's all 4 of us, 5 of us if Sean comes around, 6 of us if we include Lyle. So 5.
I don't think Sean's expecting to be part of money anymore.
I don't think
we might want to cut Lyle in at some point.
may want to make him our Ringo.
Yeah,
Good times.
the 5th Beatle.
Anything else, sir, Mr. Mark with the C?
Not really. So this weekend is my last weekend of
Freedom.
not being my last weekend of getting paid by my company to be a father. So now I have to go back to being paid by my company to, actually work for my company. So,
Nice, good work.
and I will be right back because I have to be a father for a second.
All right. Well, there you go. While he does that, speak of the devil. The company should pay him more. So I did a thing. I had a weekend. We decided
I love how you and I talked about our weekends beforehand to each other, but Mark didn't hear any of it, and now Mark's like, "All right, Scotty's up. I gotta go."
exactly. I got to go. It's fine. I take no offense to it. He's got children to deal with. Children.
It's just one.
Child. There we go. So
He has
Jenna,
a child. I don't want
Yeah. Nothing to necessitate a rack. So Jen and I had crappy weeks at work. So we decided to hell with it. We're gonna go down to Fargo and Moorhead, and goddamn, thank God we did because we got some shit. First off, we went to this thrift store in Dilworth, Minnesota, which is just outside of Moorhead. Names
Okay.
precise.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Dilworth is right outside of Moorhead.
I know, right? It's weird. I think it would be the other way
God,
around.
if this was in Pennsylvania, it would be so close to Blue Ball, I'm sure.
Right, and intercourse right between there. Yeah, we went to this place. It's a thrift store that like all the proceeds go to supporting animals, and they have like animals running. Like there was a basset hound just hanging out in the store, so we're just like, oh,
Nice.
cool. So I bought this handy dandy Verizon Ellipsi 7-inch tablet for $35. It's 4 years
all
old.
right.
It's 4 years old, but it's just something to play games and take to work and play like
Still
audio.
holding charge? Perfect.
Yeah, it still works.
That's all that matters.
It's got Wi-Fi. I got a SIM card in. It's only costing me $10 a month on Verizon. It's perfect. I can upgrade it soon.
Oh, wow.
So
That's a way better deal if you could actually upgrade it and use it for LTE and all.
oh yeah, no,
Fantastic.
it's 4G LTE. So I'm like, all right, let's do this. So yeah, and they're like, well,
Wow.
since you brought your own device in, we're not going to waive you an activation charge. It's just going to be $10 a month. I'm like, okay, cool. So then while we were returning off to go to the thrift store, we saw this big thing called, it said Antique Mall. I'm like, all right, well, we'll go see what this is all about.
This is effectively your like driving down the highway and seeing gentlemen's clubs billboards.
Kind of, yeah. That like our drive to Chicago, like through Wisconsin, where it was just cheese and beer, cheese, beer, and tits. It was amazing. So we went to this antique mall. Bruh, my God, the amount of crazy crap they had in there.
It was an
So-
antique mall, like
was
an
an
actual
antique-
mall of antiques, or
It was like
is
a
that what they
big-
called it?
it was a big store, and they have like little sections where you can go ahead, and there's different dealers have different stuff in there.
I could see this turning into Marley Station, like
It
turning
kind-
Marley Station into an antique mall.
It's better and without the movie Sassafras. So, but they don't have like a Boardwalk Fries. Well, neither does Marley Mall now. But whatever. So I found this little
Good sale.
sucker here, a 1954-55 Andy Bathgate card. So it's a little bent
That's
in the middle,
badass.
pretty damn sweet. I got myself a Gem Mint 9 condition. Lou Nanny, Coca-Cola branded sponsored little like postage stamp.
Is that a stamp?
It looks like a stamp. It's like a sticker. Remember 7-Eleven had those the Slurpee things, the little Pog Slurpee things?
Yeah, where you could get them out the bottom of the cup.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
That is awesome.
So I got that, and then I got this. I found this, and I spotted it perfectly. It is a Minnesota Moose inaugural season puck. It's
It's
the
a
only
limited
season.
edition.
Yes, it's a limited. I'll take it out of the thing. Take it out. Okay.
I have a Minnesota Moose jersey.
Yeah, limited edition inaugural season because they
Here.
were only there for 1 year. Minnesota Moose, and sponsored by WB23 and Hardee's.
It
So
sounds about
you-
right.
You know it's quality. You know it's quality. And
See, I
then
didn't
Jen-
realize they were only there for 1 year. Is that why Value City was selling all the Minnesota Moose jerseys?
Yes, sir. So
Because I have one still.
I do too. Actually, Jen has it because it fits her. But yeah, so I got that vintage puck, the two
Wow.
vintage cards.
That's some good pickups.
Jen found a back in the 1930s. Instead of cards, they had matchbooks because it was the Depression and matchbooks were more relevant then. So she got a matchbook of an old Rangers goaltender that very few people have. That just it's like plays as a playing or as a trading card. So she got that too. I'm like, this is amazing how we were able to get this kind of crazy crap on an offshoot mall in freaking suburbia, Minnesota.
This is basically how he found chords to put together the Toronto show.
Essentially. Also, they had the Wayne Gretzky Edmonton Oilers action figure.
I saw
in the
that. That was
80s.
kind of scary, actually.
It was pretty creepy. It had all the NASCAR stuff you want. So Radio's Todd Butts and I will have to have a discussion after this show as we tape the in the draft show about that. And then yeah, just a lot of crazy crap. So that was no hockey weekend turned into great thrifting weekend. I mean, hell, $35 tablet, Minnesota Moose puck, and on top of that, but wait, there's more. Scotty went on eBay.
Ski Bay.
All right, so I got this was part of it. So this was part of the eBay find. A little skipjack
Wow.
sticker thing here. But wait, there's more. Scotty Waz went and got himself some skipjack programs from 1988-89 with Lou Franceschetti.
I know what the game is going to be tonight.
And the 1983-84 Baltimore skipjack.
Oh, is that the one with Lemieux in it?
I don't know. It might be there was a
There was. So I know that there was one Skipjacks program to begin the season. The year that Mario Lemieux got signed or got drafted, the Skipjacks put out a program that has Mario Lemieux in it, although he never played for the Skipjacks.
Well, they have like all the old Penguins in here too. So there's a lot of Penguins in here because Marcel Dion's in there as well. And they also have Alain Lemieux, who played for the Skipjacks, the brother of Mario Lemieux. And I got one more eBay thing. So hold on, because I have to come over here and get this, because this is how we do things here in the Scotty Waz household. Bridgeport Sound Tiger Oyo on eBay.
That is fantastic.
So here's the fun part about it is I built
That's the
one.
giveaway, right?
It's a giveaway. You could only get this when you attended the game. The funny thing is that I bought one. I put it together. I have a whole nother one in here ready to go.
What?
So I got two for the price of one.
Did they know that? Like, did you know that ahead of time?
So
Or
two
I-
came in there?
I did not know that ahead of time. I am happy that I didn't know it ahead of time because I got more value for my buck, baby. $10
Wow.
with free shipping. I get 2 Oyos. You goddamn right. I'm gonna sick on that.
That's
So,
fantastic.
Scotty's weekend.
And
was a
Rich
big
Bikini didn't even have to send it to us.
I know he didn't. We didn't have to get Rich Bikini, who's doing wrestling commentary now. No word of a lie. After he got
That guy was
fired by
fantastic.
WWE, he's doing independent wrestling. So congratulations.
That guy was fantastic, though. He looked out for us big time
Mhm.
when we showed up that night.
Yeah, we should try to.
When we drove from Baltimore to Connecticut for some
know.
reason
Like game 2. It's the only
for
game
a hockey game, and then drove back.
It's the only game that they won that Calder Cup final.
Well, they should have sent us to more games.
Right? Should have
Just
sent it to
saying.
Chicago. So yeah, tablet hockey stuff.
Chicago
Oyos,
was a broadcast monster team at the same time, wasn't it?
they were the year after. Bridgeport was
Ah.
our flagship team. Then we got Chicago, and then Fresno, and Lowell because we had the Lock Monsters. I think those were the 4 that I remember. And then Sean just started giving stuff to every team. So I don't know who they have now. Dude, is All In Broadcasting still a thing? I don't know.
No.
No,
I think it's just Dematha.
it's just
Just all Dematha all the time is what it's called now.
so. Wow, all the math.broadcasting.com.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know if they do it. I don't know if they're doing stuff or not. I don't think he is. I think baseball.
Apparently, someone's doing something because they have football games for this past weekend.
Maybe Sean is still doing stuff. I thought that he was traveling a lot for baseball.
He probably told him where to upload it and just pay him a check.
Actually, let's be completely honest at this point. Like, can a team just do this themselves?
Yes, they can.
Like, we're not paying for this,
No. Basically, Sean's giving
which
him
is why
server-
we don't charge you.
Sean's giving him server space is what's happening.
That hurts. Sorry,
Good job.
people. Sorry, people watching.
There we go. Well, kids, it's time. It's that time of week where we get through our lives. We get on to the life of hockey. And what more can you do with the life of hockey aside from the sheer fact that we have one constant? That's right, kids.
Baseball.
Baseball game 7s. Wait, no. We got ourselves a little fantasticness. Oh, there it is.
See what condition my condition was in.
Yeah, oh yeah, what condition my condition was in.
A little injury report, and boy howdy, we got some injuries. Couple injuries, but one especially. Oscar Dansk. He has had a lower body injury. He is day to day. That makes the third Vegas the Golden Knights goaltender to go down.
Would you like to see me dance?
They had an emergency call up their kid from the WHL to be the backup to Maxim Legacy because they don't have a
You
farm
can
system.
dance if you want to.
No, he can't. He's day to day, aren't we all?
I love. So I did like the fact that, and I think it was just the screenshot I saw, but they only had the guy's first name. The 19-year-old emergency backup that they had on the bench.
Dylan Ferguson, yeah.
And the one that I saw, it just said Dylan, and I was like, it's probably because they don't know his last name, and they were just like, all right, who in the stands can play goalie? You're in. Let's go.
Let's go. What's your name?
Here's a
All right, we'll put
jersey.
that on the back. So yeah, we're gonna talk
He's like
to
a
Lyle.
Brazilian soccer star.
Dylan, spit out fire. You're too close, man. Great Chappelle Show reference, Scotty. Fucking 11 years past its prime, knocking that shit out of the ballpark. Talk to Lara just in a bit about goaltenders. David Backus, colon surgery. He is out for 8 weeks.
Oh, that hurts.
It hurts a little bit. Of course, he was out with diverticulitis earlier in the season, and now he's going to get it taken care of. The Brock Lesnar surgery, where he's having part of his colon taken out.
Ouch. That's not fun.
Nice. Quality work on that lower third.
Yeah, the Hangout Toolbox is back. I'm putting it to good use.
Wonder if you could take the toolbox and just shove it into your microphone and fix it.
Yeah.
Is it still broken?
Will it fix
Oh,
the
yeah.
microphone somehow?
I think you could probably
There
get
we
it in
go.
there.
I just heard it click over. Is that better?
Not really.
Really? Son of a bitch.
Oh, Mark. Oh, the trials and tribulations of Mark with the C and his microphone.
He tried. He tried very hard to get everything to be perfect.
That is true, and he's doing the best he can. He's doing the best that he can. Now go away. So there we go. Ryan Getzlaff, puck to the face. He's going to miss 3 games on that one. While his teammate Cam Fowler has a knee injury, he's going to be out 4 to 8 weeks, even more so. And Justin Schultz of the Penguins, concussion. He is out, obviously, indefinitely.
I feel like concussions are down so far this year. I mean, I'm purely going off of gut feeling on this. I don't have any statistics to say that concussions are down. We had a run of concussions last week, if I remember correctly, or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling. I feel like concussions are down so far this season.
Early return. But you are right. We haven't heard as many concussions
Through 1 month of the season.
Right. Through 1 month. Not as many groin injuries either. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, that is good. That's normally an early season injury. I mean, there is a pulled Yager in there, which probably counts for
Sure.
like 3 to 5 groin injuries
Oh,
on
absolutely.
the list.
Yeah.
But yeah, not too bad.
Not too shabby. So, have you seen the Olympic hockey jerseys?
Have I? I only saw the U.S. jerseys, actually. Are there more?
Canada revealed theirs as well.
Are they the same as the U.S. jerseys? God, I hope so.
Kind of, yeah. So, yeah, let me get the CBS Sports. Because, of course, when you think hockey, you think
Does Nike make
Sweet.
all the U.S. jerseys?
Nike makes all the jerseys for the
Duh.
Olympics. From what I know.
Nike makes
know,
such
right?
shit jerseys.
They do. They really do. So,
And that's the
let me-
only reason that I knew that they would probably be the same is because Nike also templates jerseys.
Really? They template. So here is let me bring it up on Scotty's screen share. So here's Team Canada's jersey.
That's not as
They're gonna
bad.
doing a 360. Still don't understand the freaking wings on it. Still don't understand the deal. What's going on with the little wings there? Don't
It's not
get
as
that.
bad. Not as bad.
Yeah.
Here's my
the US
problem with
jerseys.
this. Hold on.
Yeah.
We haven't left the Canada jerseys yet. Here's my problem with the Canada jersey.
Okay.
Why is the side black? Why wouldn't you use black numbers and make the side white the same way as the rest of the jersey? Their colors are red and white.
Listen, they throw black in there like nobody's business. It's amazing what they do with their jerseys. Like they have a black alternate jersey. I don't know why.
Whoever makes Nike's jerseys as a whole needs to be fired. Like, I could get drunk and make better jerseys that they're actually making for these teams.
Yeah. So yeah, of course, the
It
USA
looks like
hockey.
somebody spilled ink on it.
Here's the U.S. jerseys. They said that the wings are supposed, or like the little feather things are supposed to represent a bald eagle.
Hold on. Okay, so if that's the case, why in the hell again does Canada have them?
I guess for a loon. I don't know. Like, it's
What is that
confusing.
like? Is it supposed to be moose?
I don't know.
Okay, so I saw the U.S. jerseys earlier today, and I tried to rationalize that one of the three of them would look good, and I can't.
I just can't.
None of them look good. The best one out of the three is the dark navy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel. But this is the same thing that Nike's trying to do to the U.S. soccer jerseys, because the U.S. soccer jersey that got leaked for the World Cup that they're not making was white with red and blue stripes across the front that were faded into each other as it came across the jersey. So it's literally the same thing that they have on the sleeves, like with the wings of glory.
Down the glory.
Can I?
Here's a bigger picture of the USA hockey jersey.
So do we think like Sweden's jersey is going to be like yellow with blue wings on it?
Oh fuck no! Sweden's gonna put their foot down for that shit. Like, no sir, you cannot.
See, the best one out of the three, I think, is the dark blue one.
Dark blue one has a little bit more color. I like it a little bit better. I don't know, the royal blue one's not bad. I don't like the fade at the top.
I didn't even see there was a fade at the top. My God, I didn't even make it to the top of the jersey.
It looks like a little fade at the top. Unless that's just the
what
lighting.
What does it say inside of it?
Land of the free, land of the free, home of the brave.
I was hoping that it said we got really close in Vancouver.
We're just a tick away, guys. And then here's the Canada home jerseys.
Are they button ups? The U.S. jersey looks like the closer version of the U.S. jersey look like it has a like collar to it, like a button up type collar.
It does look like there's there's one button like right here where the collar would be. I don't know if they're gonna put anything there. Who knows if they could put anything there with the way the Olympics run their stuff? Because obviously these jerseys are the way they are because the IOC doesn't want any federation jerseys or any federation logo.
Well, you can't use logos in the Olympics. I know that.
Sure, fair enough.
But the Nike logo can be plastered everywhere.
Sure, no, absolutely. And like the Nike logo, as I see this on this USA Hockey one, on the royal blue one, as we see on Scotty Screen Share, it looks like that's like a different color.
That looks silver.
But then you look at the Canada one, it looks like a silver gradient too on the thing here. Like it almost looks like it's reflective. Like it's a reflective swoosh. If it's a reflective swoosh, I hope to God it is. That could be the greatest thing Nike's ever done.
Oh my God. So the other great part too, right, of the US jerseys is all three jerseys have different logos on them. Like,
so?
Okay, well, I understand I understand that the white USA can't have a white USA on it, but why is the white USA jersey have a gradient color USA on it? and then the royal blue USA jersey is like, fuck it, I'm going rogue, and has a diagonal jersey on it with a USA on the front that has a shadow red USA underneath of it.
But well, that's the alternate jersey, quote unquote. And I also want to say, the A looks like an R with this font. Like if you look by quick, like what, USSR is back? How did that happen?
That's it. That's what they were trying to actually dig at the whole USA Russia thing.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what USR for Russia.
R pirate. So there we go. There's the Olympic jerseys kids are talking about.
Those are awful.
They are god terrible.
I like Canada's white jersey though.
Yes, they do.
I don't have a problem with that white jersey at all.
No, it's slick. It's classic. It is what it. The sleeves need work for everyone. I can't wait to see Russia's jersey. Like,
oh my God!
Look like
I mean, it's got blue. It has to have blue, yellow, and red in it, right? Like it's a red jersey with blue and yellow sleeves.
Yeah, but look
And
at the,
the
look at the
Russia
guy
logo.
modeling. The guy modeling looks like he's being held hostage. Like he's just like he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't look intense.
Like-
He looks lost.
Read this. The
Exactly.
jerseys are great.
Jerseys are great.
Nike is treating me well.
I feel 30% lighter.
Not with that fucking logo on his chest. My God. Like whatever the patch is that they put on the chest is as big as any soccer logo I've ever had on a jersey. Like in meaning the one like that you are supposed to use as like the sponsor's logo.
Right.
My God.
Jesus.
I do I will say I really like the shoulder numbers though.
Like the ones that are on like
I
on
think-
top of the shoulder.
I think that's where numbers should go. I think that they should not have the sleeve numbers. I feel like get lost, and then they try to put the patches on the shoulders and stuff. I feel like the numbers should go on the shoulders.
Yeah. I can understand that. That's why they do that with the Stadium Series jerseys and stuff like. By the way, can we have I got also today I bought a sticker, the Panini sticker book for this year.
Nice.
For the NHL. And the one thing, they have all the outdoor games except for the one that Jen and I went to, the Winnipeg Edmonton game. It
Interesting.
almost seems like the Annapolis game is going to be lost in this. They have not made it
It's
announced.
going to be. It's got to be. Yeah, you're right. So they didn't announce it. They didn't have any type of thing at the Naval Academy when both teams were in town. You've heard nothing about jerseys.
No. So I'm concerned. Yeah, I want
Is
to.
it even going to happen? Like, is it happening still at this point?
They're selling tickets.
Well,
that
that's
much
good.
I
That's
know.
a good thing.
That
That's a
much
good
I
thing.
know.
If I get a press credential for it, I know it's not going to happen.
Yeah, Jesus, that'd be great. And they cancel the game, and Johnny's just like, well, what the fuck? So the next time Toronto is here, and by here I mean DC, is it's the outdoor game. So
So somebody's going to have to fly down just to have the event that no one wants to have, apparently.
by the way, it's an 8:00 puck drop. By the way,
Interesting.
Saturday night, 8:00 puck drop on NBC.
That actually, okay, so that makes sense to me in March.
Yes, absolutely.
And
here's
I really like outdoor games under the lights.
Mm-hmm. And this gets rid of all the bullshit of like, oh, is the sun going to be a factor? Don't need that.
I actually haven't been to Marine Corps Stadium during the day,
Me either.
like when there was a lot of sun out. But I have a feeling that the sun would set right behind one of the goalposts from the way it's set up,
yeah.
which would completely screw with everybody.
Oh yeah. By the way, 906 tickets available, starting from $242. On the vividseats.com.
Yeah, I definitely need to get a press pass for that.
Right. Frig, just go tailgate.
What if I just go to Fido and watch the game there in the Fido in Annapolis? Watch the game from there and drink and be like, yeah, I was in Annapolis for the game.
There you go. You didn't say you were at the game. You just said we were in Annapolis for the game. Works just as good. But I'm very worried about this. Very worried about this game's going to be flipped through the cracks. And it may, like you said, who knows if it'll happen now? They have to. They're selling tickets for it. They have to happen. But
Well, they have to have it, right? It has to occur, but it's not getting any of the press that a Winter Classic does. And I can honestly say I have no idea if this has occurred in the past for any of the Stadium Series games, because I never really followed the Stadium Series games until the jerseys came out.
I know there was a bunch. I think there's a bunch. Was there? Well, here's a question: is there a lot of hype? Is there anything locally about this yet?
No, I haven't seen anything.
That's concerning because
I haven't seen anything for this game that's supposed to be in like less than 30 minutes from my house in March.
In Winnipeg, there was stuff in Winnipeg, and they were hyped for it, and there was stuff around town.
I haven't been to Annapolis lately. Maybe if I go to Annapolis, they'll have like
but
banners
it's not
up
like
or something.
it's not like you're a 2-hour drive away like we were. Like you're shot down 5301. Yeah. 97 to 50, and you're good to go. Watch out for
they
Reefer
should have
Road.
stuff on 97 right now.
Mhm.
There's probably a car that's broken down that you could put stuff on.
So yeah. Well then. Nice work.
Make sure you
Attaboy.
sign in first before you contact technical support.
Exactly. If you're having trouble logging in, sign in and then contact technical support.
That couldn't be more vague, right?
No, it couldn't be.
Like, yeah.
So the one that I saw about it, it basically said, all right, remove anything else that would be going on. Cool.
Right.
Microphone should work.
Yeah.
So,
But I mean, it works. I mean, do I still sound like crap? Yeah.
You're crackly, but that's it.
It works outside of Hangouts. That's it. And everything inside of Hangouts sounds terrible.
Mark, it's Halloween's over. Get rid of the crackle. Ha!
Oh, that was another really funny story from last night that I didn't tell earlier. But,
Test.
so I got home from work last night at like 6 o'clock ish, 6:30 ish. Come home. There's literally like 15 kids like standing out front of my house, like walking around with their parents and stuff. And I'm like, cool, this is awesome. I have candy to give out. I like leave my door open as all the kids are supposed to be around, right? And I grab the bag of candy and I'm getting ready to take it outside to give kids candy. And they all run down the street.
Wow.
And so I shut my door and I went to sleep at 8 a.m. or 8 p.m.
It's funny. I went to a weekly media conference for UND, and one of the top writers, Brad Schlossman, was there, and he said I had like 6 people come to my house, and I had 2 big bowls of candy. I'm like, well, whatever. Everyone said, like, he was telling them one kid came up.
Sometimes you got to race.
Okay, so he said one kid came up. He's like, oh, that's cool. Take a piece of candy, whatever you want. Takes an M&M. It's like, you can take more than that. Takes another M&M. It's like, you can take more than that. It's like, well, there'd be none for the other kids. Like, oh, that's sweet.
As he drops an entire bowl into it.
Exactly. That's what everyone says. It's like, you should have just dumped the entire bowl. It's like, it's fine. Say you're really welcome.
So I actually had candy, and all 15 children that were out front of my house when I drove up to my house left before I could get the bag of candy and come back to the wide open front door that I left.
Well, listen, sometimes I just get, like you said, got to race.
Sometimes you got to race.
We'll talk about this too with Lyle a little bit, because we got into it a little bit last week. Vladim Shipachev has been suspended officially by the Vegas Golden Knights for leaving the AHL team in Chicago without prior notice to the Vegas Golden Knights or the Chicago Wolves. And they plan to terminate his contract once he gives back his signing bonus. So Vladim Shipachev has to pay back his signing bonus in order to get his contract terminated.
Well, he can't play in Russia with a contract, so
that's true.
All he has to do is find a Russian team that'll pay back his signing bonus and he's fine.
Yeah. He's good.
Yeah.
So there's that.
That is amazing, though. Is he just too old to make the transition?
Yes, I think it absolutely has everything to do with him being too old to make transition. And I also think, and I put this on ScottyWaz.com, that I think it's symptomatic of him being a star in Russia, not having to fight for a position, especially on an expansion team, and then now having to fight for a position and losing out and having a little bit of sour taste in his mouth about that.
Well, he was kind of sold on the fact that he was going to be a top 6 forward.
That's true. I mean, that's George McPhee's fault for kind of doing the old bait and switch there. But at the same time, it's like, sometimes stuff doesn't work out. LOL. Don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. I'm going to say this. If I was in his position, I would literally do exactly what he's doing.
Oh, I don't fault him at all.
No, because, I mean, he came to the U.S., he tried, it didn't work. Oh, well, I'm already good to go.
Yeah. I mean, by all means, dude, if people are going to pay him money in the KHL. So it's just that, for all the hype, and Vegas put a hype up on him too because they signed him. He was like the first real player, to be on the Vegas Golden Knights.
We have a viewer now, Gun
Oh, yeah.
Cannon. He,
Nice.
she, I'm not sure. Gun Cannon would like to add that they always wanted to see when something like this happens that the player just responds to the team with, "But I already spent it all."
Exactly. Good line. It's a good one. My big thing now is what's people. If I had better Photoshop skills, I would have a picture of Vladim Shipachev photoshopped onto the Leaving Las Vegas movie poster and place that all around town because that's just Molnay.
On a ship going back to Europe.
Yes, the Shipachev ship.
Wouldn't they just have to garnish his wages?
mm,
I can't
I mean,
have
if
my
you'd already spent
wages
all the money.
garnished.
yeah.
Step into my apartment. I don't do business on the lanai.
Hey guys, you hear about this? You heard about this? The Carolina Hurricanes sale fell through.
No.
Apparently.
Oh,
After this is after Peter Carmano shit talked Chuck Greenberg for not having the money fast enough. He told Peter Carmano's told Chip Alexander of the News and Observer, the sale of the team is just sitting there waiting for Chuck to say, "Geez, I can't raise the money. We have a commitment to Chuck and we're going to see it through." And quite frankly, I wish he would pick up the phone and say, "Geez, you know what? I can't get it done." But it looks like he can't get it done because it looks like he can't get it done. I'm telling you, he can't raise the money. So Peter Carmanos can't get out of his own lane enough to have a guy just wait for a bit. This isn't going to take it's not like a car dealership or a house. It's going to take a fucking month. Like
I love how he screwed this up for himself.
You're selling a team in a fucking arena. Like, how do you can't expect him to have this money just laying around somewhere on some hookers?
If only he had this money in a vault somewhere where he was swimming in it, he'd be fine right now.
Mhm.
Oh God. Like this, I couldn't believe he said that. I'm like, you're screwing yourself on this. And they
It's
did
almost
this.
like he wants to sell the team, but he doesn't want to sell the team.
He wants to sell the team, but like this is like he's had this team on sale since 2014, and the biggest holdup is the fact that he wants to stay part of the ownership group, but not pay a lot for that muffler. So he can't get out of his own friggin' way.
He needs to set a buy it now price. I think
Yes!
that's the problem.
No, he needs to take it. He needs to make an offer on it.
Yeah,
That's true.
that's
Like-
true. Because there is no bidding war for this.
Like there should be no bidding war for this. There's no buy it now also either. There's like, here, tell me what you want to pay for this team.
Exactly. It's like, listen, I can't figure this out.
I'll
You tell me.
only accept reasonable offers.
PayPal credit only.
I mean, this is amazing. It honestly doesn't sound like he wants to sell the team, but he doesn't want to be part of it anymore.
No, he doesn't want to put the monetary investment
It's
because
like a bad marriage.
his kids sued him for 160 mil. So you know his kids are going to cut, or 160,000. His kids are going to come after that money and the ownership. So, it's a Peter Carmanos family's a mess. Let me tell you there.
It's amazing. They should have their own TV show.
Oh God, I hope so. Joe Thornton passed Yari Curry for 20th all time on the all-time points scoring list.
Nice.
Shout out to Joe Thornton on that. The New Jersey
And Yari
Devils.
Curry.
Yeah, and Yari Curry. Shout out to Yari Curry just for being Yari Curry. New Jersey Devils have partnered with the Metropolitan Riveters to allow them to stay surviving. I don't know. The deal is
Have they
very
changed their name?
yes. They went from the New York Riveters to the Metropolitan Riveters.
Gotcha.
So the deal included a doubleheader, which the Riveters played in the afternoon and the Devils played at night. The Riveters will also be using their home games at the New Jersey Devils practice facility. And I think that the partnership is the fact that the Devils have taken part ownership of the team. Marketing team is going to coexist with the Riveters and the Devils as well to coexist marketing-wise as coexist. That's
I
what
did
it
see
means.
a picture of the Riveters logo on the Devils Jumbotron.
That's cool. Synergy, brother.
I feel like this should be a bigger thing. I feel like that there should be NHL teams that want to do this
Well,
with the women's league, but I also feel like it should only be one women's league.
well, funny you say that because there's been articles like all week about there needs to be one women's league to stop doing this whole unsaturated market. I think it is of leagues.
Isn't technically the women's league right now only in like 4 states and 2 provinces?
All right, so the NWHL, which is the first one to pay the women, that's 4 teams, and that's in Connecticut, Boston, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Buffalo, and New Jersey now. So
4 states.
So 4 states. The CWHL is in
has a team in Montreal and Toronto.
Montreal, Toronto. Actually, hold on. I don't think there's one in Toronto. There might be one in Toronto. I don't friggin' know. Hold on.
Yeah, I thought there was.
Yes, there is. Toronto, Markham, Montreal, Calgary, Boston, and then 2 in China.
Wait, what?
Yep. There's 2 teams in China.
Okay, so I was lost before China. So how does the Canadian League have a team in Boston?
How does the Canadian League have a team in China? 2 teams in China.
Right. Okay, so the Canadian team has 6 teams total. 3 of them aren't in Canada.
7 teams total, and 3 of them aren't in Canada.
Okay, so just over 50% of the teams are in Canada.
Yes,
But they're all in the same province. From
except,
what I can tell,
except Calgary and Montreal.
Calgary's on the way to China.
From where?
From Montreal.
Well, it depends on which way you go.
You have to go that way to get to China.
No, you don't. You can go up and around, and you could go the other way.
I don't. I feel like the road trip is Canada, China, China, and then back.
That's true. If you're Toronto, you're going to Markham, you're going to Calgary, and then you're going to China for a set.
Like, yeah, I mean, how does that league make any money whatsoever? You're literally flying to China.
You literally have players in China. Like, you're sponsoring these Chinese teams.
Yeah, but they're not paying them, right? So
No, they are.
like, oh, they're paying also? I thought they weren't paying.
Each player is paid a minimum of $2,000 per season, a maximum of $10,000 with a team salary cap of $100,000 this year starting.
This is quite literally the beginning of MLS.
Yep. But there's articles from the Globe and Mail and from other resources saying that they need to combine the leagues to stop saturating the market. And the biggest thing is that Danny Ryland of the NWHL and the Brenda Andress of the CWHL, they like to they butt of the heads.
They hate each other.
They loathe each other because Danny Ryland, the story behind it is that she wanted to put a CWHL team in New York. And the CWHL listened to her and they kind of shuffled their feet. So Danny Ryan's like, the hell with you. I'm going to build my own women's hockey league with blackjack and hookers. Well, forget about the hookers because that's just, not good.
Yeah, that wouldn't make well for women's hockey.
No, because that's more of a rugby position. The point is this: she decided to go make her own league, and now we have a saturated market where there's 11 teams, 2 in Boston, 2 in China, and just a bevy of others. 2 leagues, 11 teams, 2 are in China. It's amazing. There's 2 teams in Boston, for Christ's sake.
So the Boston thing to me is interesting. I don't get the Boston thing at all, to be completely honest. This should be one league. This is literally sounds like the beginning of MLS. The beginning of MLS started with 8 teams. I'd have to look back.
That sounds right.
Revolution,
Columbus.
Crew, DC United, LA Galaxy,
Earthquakes.
San
Jose.
I'd have to think it was 8 teams that
Yeah.
started MLS. Tampa Bay Mutiny was in that.
Oh, Carlos Valderrama and his hair.
True story. Greatest jerseys ever. I have a feeling that there were 8 to 10, maybe 8 to 10 teams that started MLS, but MLS had a insanely small salary cap to start life, and they made it through the first 10 years of having a league because Adidas came in and said, we will basically make all the jerseys in the league. You'll play with Adidas balls. All the referees will wear Adidas jerseys, and we'll pay you $150 million over the next 10 years. And that was the smartest thing that they could have done.
10 teams to start the league. Colorado Rapids, Columbus Crew, DC United, the Dallas Burn, the Kansas City Wiz, the LA Galaxy, New England Revolution, New York, New Jersey Metro Stars, San Jose Clash/Earthquakes, and the Tampa Bay Mutiny.
That's it. And so basically we're talking right now that the Women's League is at 10 teams when you combine the two Bostons.
Yes. But instead of combining the two Bostons, there's 2 separate Bostons in 2 different leagues.
Well, there's an alternate Boston.
There always is an alternate Boston. Oh, my God.
It's like the Boston cover band.
We now welcome in Lyle Richardson, SpectresHockey.net and the Hockey News.
Here we go.
Just as we finished talking about women's hockey, Lyle comes on. We had some other stuff we're going to talk to him about as well, including the historically bad Arizona Coyotes.
Oh, boy.
Tied a record with their 11th straight loss for the 1943-44 New York Rangers for worst start to begin a season.
Wow, I thought the Caps had that.
No, the Caps actually won a game in between there. So.
The Caps still hold the worst. The Caps still hold the worst single season record, but
I'm still holding out hope.
Nobody had worse start than your Arizona Coyotes this season and your 43-44 New York Rangers.
Is it all because Antti Ranta was out? Because I as much as I want to believe that you start from building from goaltender out, you got to figure you got to get. I understand you got to get some saves from Louis Domingue and Aiden Hill and now Scott Wedgwood, who we'll talk about here in a second. But my God, that seems like a terrible stat for a team that, by and large, should be a lot better than they are.
Mm-hmm. Well, part of it is the goaltending. I think that goes without saying. If they'd had a healthy Antti Ranta for the entire month of October, do I think they'd be a winning team or a 500 team? No, but I think there were 3 games there during that long losing streak that they, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe they had the lead and just couldn't hold it, and that in part comes to goaltending. But there's other factors in there as well. I mean, let's be honest. They did a big overhaul during the off season, so you got a new coaching staff in there, and there's adjustments that have to be made there. They did, of course, some significant off season changes, which you would think would have improved things somewhat. But I think there's some chemistry issues there that still have to be sorted out.
But and I understand that, and I can understand. But my counterpoint to that, Vegas is an entirely new team, and they've gone through 18 goaltenders this season already.
But the difference there, a lot more character on that. I think character. Boy, howdy, that means a lot. Say what you will about George McPhee. I know you guys will still never, ever forgive him for the Philip Forsberg trade, but
that's the only trade.
Yeah, completely over that. I'm not gonna send a plane to Vegas with Erat being pulled behind it.
But I mean, you guys have to admit, during his tenure there with the Capitals, I mean, he did a great job of bringing in players that not only had talent, but also he could find character guys as well. And that's a big factor there with Vegas. I mean, they were doing an interview here in CBC Charlottetown earlier this week. They were talking to Gerard Gallant about this phenomenal start his team's having. Of course, Gerard Gallant, head coach of the Vegas Golden Knights. And he made mention that, part of that had to do with the character of the guys that they brought in. You know, a lot of these guys, a lot of the guys on that team were players they wanted. They wanted to have there. They felt that they were key to bring in, who were going to establish a solid foundation for this team to build off of. So when you look at the Arizona Coyotes, I mean, they don't have a lot of that veteran character and experience there. I mean, they do have guys who have it, but not on the same depth level as the Golden Knights. That's for sure.
It's true. Golden Knights have a lot of heart, great heart. They have to. They have no goaltending.
Well, my God. I mean, when is Fleury back in a week? Is that the earliest prognosis?
Yeah, I think so. And it's concussion, so you have to.
Yeah, there's the protocol.
But when you're calling up your WHL goalie on an emergency basis,
I know, right?
Boy.
Mark hasn't played for years, and he got a phone call from Vegas randomly, but he didn't answer because he didn't know the number.
Yeah, Jen's the emergency backup.
Yeah, I mean, I see
they're both on the list.
I see her kitted out right now.
Yeah, she's just hanging out right there in her little Deadpool onesie, her little onesie dealie that she's been going over the house about.
That's good. That is good.
Exactly. Sorry. Bye. Thank you. Appreciate it. We were talking about your matchbook earlier, but can you grab that for me so I can show them? So, Lyle, we're talking. I hate to derail the Vegas Golden Knights talk. So we went to a antique store in Moorhead, Minnesota, and we found I found a Minnesota Moose puck from 93, 94, or 94, 95, and then Jen found this, and this is a matchbook about Harold Starr.
Oh wow!
These were used rather than cards back in the 30s, as just like a training thing, and it has like a little. Oh God, I dropped it. A little profile on the back about it, and all this other stuff.
Hey, that's pretty cool.
So yeah, we got this for like $9, and these things are probably rare as shit to get.
Oh my God, I would guess.
So, and I looked it up, and like they did for baseball, they did it for other things as well. So
nice.
Thanks, Jen. Thank you. And then I got this as well. I got an Andy Bathgate 1954-55 card ski.
Nice.
So a little bent in the middle, but I don't care. It's fun.
Oh, who cares? It's Andy Bathgate, dude.
It's Andy Bathgate. It's a vintage hockey card. Why the hell would I not?
Yes.
So
some things you just get. You're not looking at the dollar value. You're looking at
no. I'm not looking for resale. I'm looking at this for personal collection.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
that's why I still have my hockey cards from the 1970s. For God's sake, I'm not giving up those babies. I collected those as and as an 8, 9, 10-year-old. For God's sake, that's one of my few tenuous remaining links to my rapidly fading in the distance childhood. I mean, come on.
Isn't that also where you learned how to be a person? I feel through trading cards, you learned how to
interact
things. You learned how to talk to other people and trade what you valued for what they valued. Like, you learned a lot of life lessons through collecting.
That's really a good
baseball cards.
Oh boy, did I! Well,
or hockey cards.
One of the earliest life lessons that I got was that quantity is not better than quality. That came from trading cards, because in 1973, I very stupidly traded away Bobby Orr hockey card, and Bobby Orr back then, of course, was God in 1973, and I traded that for like 20 cards of basically guys that were like, checking line guys and backup goalies and things like this. Like, oh look, I'll give you these 20 cards for Bobby Orr. I was like, great. And then I sat down and looked at all these cards after I got them, realized I just traded away the greatest player in the world for 20 nothings.
Well, listen, as we're joined here by Lyle Richardson, the George McPhee of trading cards.
Let me tell you, trading
surprisingly
cards...
in there though was a Martin Erad. It was weird.
yes. Even back then, he wasn't even born yet, and he was already there. So that was weird. But I would also say the trading cards back in the day, especially on the school ground, that was your early fantasy hockey right there.
Yes,
that was the foundation for what fantasy hockey is today. Was the old got him, need him, got him, need him. Okay, it
also taught you though, it taught you to be able to value what you had, but also know that in order to complete the set that you've been trying to complete for 6 months because your friend had the 3 cards you needed in order to make this happen, that you would pay a little bit more in your cards in order to make that happen. Like, so there was a massive thought process that actually went into this. When you were like 6, 8, you know, like you're literally learning life through these cards, you know, and like for me, I became a massive Terry Steinbach fan, and for no other reason than he was a common catcher.
Yeah,
but
I
he
think
had
you
one of the
the
coolest baseball.
Yeah, you had the most amount of Terry Steinbach cards, and you threw them all into one binder. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, I have an entire binder of Terry Stein. The most I ever paid for a Terry Steinbach card was $2.25, and it was his minor league card. But I started collecting Terry Steinbach because he had, I believe it was 1986 or 1987 tops, was a picture of him in a crouched catching stance with an all-black catcher's mitt. And it was the first all-black catcher's mitt I've ever remembered seeing in my life. And I was like, that is awesome. And I became a Terry Steinbach fan, and I could go and I could get like 80 of them for $1. And I was like, this is amazing. I could get all of these baseball cards and I can have all of them.
It's fascinating how you get to become a gear nerd that way too.
It's so crazy. But that's what we did when we were kids. Like I feel so sad
As
for kids
kids.
nowadays.
Yeah. I just bought a whole nother thing of cards the other day.
Yeah, but that's because we did it when we were kids. The kids nowadays, when they're 35, aren't going to buy baseball cards because it costs them $14 for 6 of them.
The set, that's not wrong. The saddest thing I saw is when we went to our usual card shop, Big Nick's in Fargo, and it turned into like tabletop games and people playing Magic, and I'm just like, well, then I understand. I understand where they're going because that's more of the people we're buying these days. But it's kind of sad that the trading card industry has gone to shit like that.
Well, Lynn Patanzo used to go to where did she used to go? Like Price Club, and used to get the 1992-93 hockey scorecards or something like that. I don't know what brand they were.
Score.
It was like they were 9-year-old sets, and the boxes of cards were something like $15 at Price Club. And my mom would go, and it's funny. She used to teach us a lot of things. First, through these baseball cards, like John was saying, we learned a lot as children. But one of them was, if you try to be a perfectionist, you're going to fail. There's literally no way to collect all those cards without help.
I also learned there that it was possible for me to steal from my sister. And I will explain you the story behind.
That's a weird life lesson. But here we go.
No. I know, right? But here's the story. I set the scenes. 1977. Okay, 14-year-old Lyle. Okay, is hunting for the card of his favorite hockey player, Ken Dryden. Okay, I was a big-time Ken Dryden fan as a kid, and he was the only one in my set that I didn't have. And I was going down, I'm buying. I mean, I had so many doubles and triples and quadruples of marginal players trying to find a Ken Dryden hockey card. So my sister and I go down to the store, and of course I lay down my whole dollar so that I could get my 10 packs of hockey cards. They were 10 cents each back then. And my sister, just for shits and giggles, decides, she never bought a hockey card in her life. Never bought a pack in her life, and she just decided for shits and giggles, I'll get a pack of hockey cards. Guess who got the Ken Dryden?
Oh, karma.
I begged, I pleaded, I offered money, I threatened because she was my little sister. None of it mattered. And she didn't care. She was just doing it just to torment me. Okay, the card meant nothing to her. But she knew I really wanted it, so she says, "No, it's my card. I'm keeping it." So. Yeah, when she was off to school, I was homesick, and I laid there, and it just was weighing on my mind about what a bitch she was being, and so I went into her room and I stole back my hockey card. And but here's the thing, and here's where the story gets even weirder. My sister comes home, discover the card's gone. She knows who's got it, So she comes and she goes running upstairs to my mother, and she goes, "Man, Yeah, yeah. It's
Cartman.
interestingly, she sounded like very much.
Wow, she
Cartman.
sounds just like Cartman.
Yes, as I said. Interestingly, yes. And she's like, man, last time I can't drive hockey cam, blah, 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 blah. And my mother, who knew that Gail was just doing this just to torment me, looked her dead in the eye and said, well, if you hadn't tormented your brother like that, maybe he wouldn't have had to stoop to that level.
Wow. That is
I still got a
awesome.
blast of shit for him. At the end of the day, I got to keep the car.
But it was
So
worth it.
try your own conclusions from that weird ass life lesson. But yeah, that was the first and the only time I ever stole from my sister. You know, so it just went to show. It was just like, wow, people really can go to any means to get something they really,
Yeah,
really want.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Oh
No
hell!
doubt. No doubt.
To this day, we still laugh about that.
Oh, good times.
But yeah, weird.
Speaking, the Astros are up 2-0 in the first inning.
Wow.
Yeah, how long's that league gonna last? I've been
Dude,
following
this-
this damn series. No lead
This
is safe.
series has been great and
So
terrible
Is there
at the same
anything?
time.
Is there anything more weird than Yahoo having to put the records of the teams in the World Series underneath of their logos? So this is
Look,
what
the
Yahoo
three
gives
and,
me.
3 and 3.
Yeah.
This is what Yahoo gives me right now. It says the series is tied 3-3, but then it has 3 and 3 as the records for each team underneath their logos.
Yeah.
Mm.
Listen, Yahoo's laid off a lot of, or had a lot of people gone.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
all their good people are elsewhere. What can we say?
Yeah.
Talking about good people elsewhere, Scott Wedgwood being sent elsewhere to Arizona, as he was traded from the Devils to the Coyotes, of course, as the Coyotes were having goaltending problems because Louis Dominguez is sieve.
Sadly.
Yeah, good
He's so
idea, bad
good,
idea.
though.
Well, they had to do something. For Wedgwood, this is his opportunity. I mean, listen, he was not going to unseat Kincaid as Corey Schneider's backup there in New Jersey. That wasn't going to happen. He was looking at third stringer for life there in Jersey. So now he gets an opportunity to at least move into a backup position for the first time, a full-time backup role in Arizona. Though be careful what you wish for, because you're going to be the backup in Arizona. But hey, you know, this is his big opportunity, because he wasn't going to get it in New Jersey.
Johnny, you had something.
Yeah, you were giggling.
No.
What did I say?
No, all I'm
What did I
thinking is
say?
I'm thinking that Third Stringer for Life is a great album name. That's all I'm saying.
There it is.
That's all I'm
Back
saying.
in the
For
saddle,
you,
kid.
for free. There you go, brother. Third
Like, as
stringer
soon as you said it, I started laughing.
for life.
I was like, and
There you
there's
go.
probably a song on there that's called "Stealing from Your Sister," but I don't know. I don't know
You
yet.
can use that too. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh my
See,
lord.
I'm a wellspring of inspiration for you, Johnny, tonight. At least tonight, anyway. Usually I just talk dribble and you're just like, oh, he's nuts. But there you go.
By the way, we are just about ready to go live for this Patreon crap.
Yeah.
What do that do?
Well, basically, we're crowdsourcing people if they want to donate to us, and we'll give them little perks, like Lyle. Let me show you this right here.
Sure,
There's a tier called the Liutes.
I have
Maybe-
about 80 stickers left, by the way.
Okay, perfect.
Just in case we
can
need
give
those.
out too if we need them.
Yeah.
The Liutes, these people donate $1 a month. In honor of Mike Liute, of course, you'll get a shout out on the show of both the Face Off Hockey Show and the Soderstrom Bubble. Just a small thanks from us to you. Then there's the Langways. That's the $5 bids. They're sturdy folk. And on top of the shout out, they'll get a poll option every week for a segment that we'll talk about. And we'll go ahead and have fun stuff there with that. We'll get a take from one of the patrons who went ahead and picked that vote. So it's a little ad lib. We can do stuff, and then they can give their opinion too. And then the Ovechkins, the Ovies, they'll get everything listed above, plus a monthly Q&A with at least one host of the Face Off Hockey Show Media Faction shows. So at least me, and maybe Johnny, and maybe Jen, and Mark if the baby allows him time off.
There you go.
Because we all know,
or with the baby even.
or with the baby can
Yeah.
take over. That'd be great.
Sure.
He probably has as good as insight as Eric Francis.
Baby P.
So all of these things,
Why do you
No,
want
but
to
it's true, Lyle,
Hey,
you know it.
Scotty, why do you want to insult Baby P that way?
I said he had better views than Eric Francis. You could say they were worse. There can be no worse.
He's been out of Calgary for almost 2 years, and some scars just never heal.
I'm just saying, I saw him on the intermission show, and Rich Sutter saying pucks 100,000 times was still better than the analysis that Eric Francis gave. Whatever. Point is this, folks. We're going to put this live here in a second after I guess give my tax information. I don't know how this works. And then we'll you guys can do that. We'll post that to our Facebook and post that to our Twitter and everything like that. So if you feel like having a little Patreon, give a little bit of tank there.
Give a
Help us help you. Help us help you.
After
Help us help you
15
help us.
years, we're trying to figure out how to make money on the show.
After 15 years, we finally figured out how to make money through the Blog Talk Radio and now with Patreon. Of course, every other hockey podcast has a Patreon, so why the hell should we not?
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, speaking of, returns and return on investment, because I think we give our fans a great return on investment. The Edmonton Oilers don't think Ryan Strom's given a great return on investment there, Lyle. There's a little bit of buzz saying that people are regretting this deal in the front office. Yay, nay? What is going on with this situation now?
Well, I think the numbers and the performance speak for themselves. I believe the Mr. Strome only has, correct me if I'm wrong, I think he's only got 3 points in 10 games.
I do believe so.
He has bounced around the lineup. Initially, when he was brought in, there was some hope that perhaps he might skate on the right side of Connor McDavid, or failing that, maybe he could slide into the second line position. But so far, that has not worked out very well, and so he's kind of bounced around. He's currently, I believe, centering the third line right now. Last I checked, because he can play center or to the wing. But regardless, they're not getting a very good return on investment there, especially when you look at the fact that Jordan Eberle, while he's not exactly tearing it up with the New York Islanders, he's doing certainly much better than Ryan Strome is. I believe Mr. Eberle has 9 points in, I believe, a dozen games now. So respectable numbers for him.
Well, typical Jordan Eberle numbers, essentially. Just being
Pretty
that
much
workhorse guy who's going to get you, I'd say, between 50 and 60 a year. That's not too bad point-wise.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, he's good for that. About 50.
Higher end to 60.
I wouldn't say. If he gets, I'd say 60 is his ceiling. His ceiling is 60. If you can get that out of him, you're having a damn good year.
Exactly. You get 55
because
out of
he's
him.
small. You say 60 inches, or?
But by the way, speaking of that, Johnny, I don't know if I told you this. My kid's taller than you now.
I figured as much.
My kid's taller
It's
than
only
Jen.
a matter of time. Let's be honest.
My kid's 5'5".
Good God.
So she's
How old
only-
is
It's like a losing battle from birth.
How old?
And if I make it past 10, then I'm good.
How old?
Like I win.
She just turned 11, Lyle.
The kegger has turned 11 and she's 5'5". By the time she hits her teenage year, she's going to be taller than me because I'm 5'7" and 3. Now I'm thinking I'm 5'7". The hell with it. I used to be 5'8", and then it was just like, oh no, I'm 5'7" and 3/4. Oh, shut the hell up! You're
And Lyle,
5'7".
trust me, I'm the same way. I'm just like, no, I'm 5'11" and a half. And the DMV people, it's like, is it 5'11" or 6 foot? I'm not going to put 5'11" and a half, you imbecile.
Here's the scary thing. I mean, you do lose height as you age, because when I was 21, when I measured, I topped out at 5'9", and so for years it was like, hey, 5'9", 5'9", 5'9", and then about 10 years ago it was like, no, you're at about 5'8" and a half. Oh, really? Okay, and then get in for the old medical there this year, and it's just like, yeah, you're 5'7" and 3/4. Like, what?
Yeah.
No.
I think some of that's user error as well.
I think so too. But I listen, I'm willing to spot them 5'8". I'm willing to say, yeah, okay, I probably lost a half inch, maybe an inch, but come on.
My license still says I'm 5'3", 150, so that's what I'm going with.
5'3" and $150.
Yeah, thank God North Dakota doesn't do weight. Boy. Oh, guess what? Apparently, Patreon has YouTube live stream beta, so we can do live streams on the Patreon only.
I like it.
Here we go, kids.
Here we go, kids.
We got some tings.
That might be a Pavanka.
The Pavankas get the live stream. $20 worth. $20 a month. You get
$20. You get Pavanka level, kids.
Yeah, well, we have to make it a verb. If you want to get pavanka'd, you have to give us $10 a month.
Hold on, is Pavanka when you don't like your contract and then go play for the Detroit Vipers?
Wait a minute. Is there a Kolzig? Is there a Kolzig level?
No, we're not. See,
No,
what
we
we're
don't. We don't ask for that much.
Okay.
Yeah, what we're doing is we're basing off jersey numbers. That would be a lot of money.
Oh, I was gonna say.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
be.
Well,
Okay.
maybe we need to have a maybe we need to have a Michael Ridley.
The Joey Juno level will get you controlling interest in the Face-Off Hockey Show.
Joey Juno means I fly to wherever you are and take you out to dinner.
Win a dinner with Johnny P on the Face Off Hockey Show.
The Phil Housley will get you. That's 96, kids. That will get you.
Listen, I can tell you, I've been to dinner with Johnny P. It's well worth it.
Yeah,
It's
but
well
listen,
worth it. We've been to dinner
agree.
several times.
I agree.
I understand. Listen, I love the Pizza Hut buffet as much as you do, but I mean,
listen, there's a lot to be said for a good Timmy's drive-through. I'm just saying. Saying.
I'll do whatever you need me to do. For $96 a month, my God, that's more than we made in 15 years.
Anyway, yeah.
I'll take
What
off
if
work
people
and
want to be
fly there.
charred?
What's that?
What if people want to be charred?
That's
That's
just a naked picture.
that. Yeah, I was
Sunday.
gonna say we can put up a naked char. We can char bomb these people if they want. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, Strome. But no, bringing it back to Strome. Yeah, no, they're not happy with the performance, but there's really nothing they can do about him right now. I mean, whether or not he's on the trade block or not, that seems to be kind of a little bit of a difference of opinion between some of the more notable insiders like Nick Kyprios and Bob McKenzie. But bottom line is, if you're going to put him out on the trade market right now, they're not going to get anything back right now that's going to have an immediate positive impact. I mean, right now, given how much his stock has fallen, I mean, this summer, he was worth a Jordan Eberle. Well, what's he worth now? He ain't worth. He's not even worth a reliable third liner right now. He's now dropped to the level where if you can get a good draft pick or a good prospect for him, consider yourself lucky, because that's how much his stock. Which is a shame, because I mean, 3 years ago, I mean, he had a 50-point sophomore season. He looked like things looked like he was trending up, but for whatever reason, he just has not been able to return to those heights. So yeah.
Is he really that bad though, or did he just not click with Connor McDavid and he ended up just falling down their roster?
I think that may have something to do with it as well. It could just be a bad fit. I mean, right now the Oilers, they're looking for anybody who can keep up with Connor McDavid, because they're kind of a slow-footed team right now. I know that's a hard thing to do because there's not a lot of
But
players.
it's the same problem that Crosby had. How many wingers did Crosby go through before he figured out how to play hockey with a winger?
Still going through.
And,
Oh my lord!
right.
Yeah.
It's going to take him slowing down in order to have a set of wingers that actually fit with him.
Well, and the thing, and that says that's a testament to the man's greatness. The fact that he's been able to put up the numbers and have the career he's had with basically never reliable wingers. I mean, come on, how many great players over the years? I mean, especially at center, could always had great wingers, to play with, or at least one. But I mean, hell, they brought Phil Kessel in, thinking that he would be a perfect fit alongside Crosby, and it didn't work. So maybe there's just some players you just can't match.
Well, I wonder, because Strome was in the Islanders system for so long, and the Islanders system, it seems to not turn out as great as people think. I mean, you look at how Josh Ho sang.
Yeah.
We look at the other guy. I can't think of.
Look at Beauvillier last season. I mean, he had a good start to the season, but then things kind of.
What about Barzal? He's been pretty good.
Yeah,
Matt Barzal has been good,
Yeah.
but I mean, that seems to be well. How many years have we seen Trent Hunter be so hyped in the minor leagues and then
Oh
come
my
to the
God.
pro level and
Yeah.
do nothing?
Yeah.
He's the second
seems
coming
he's-
of Chris Bork.
Yeah, exactly.
Or guys even guys like Brock Nelson when they first came in. I mean, Jesus, a lot of upside. Not saying he's a bad player. I mean, he's a good second line player on a good team, third line on a great team. But that's pretty much his ceiling. There was talk that he could be a first line winger on the Tavares line, and that just never worked out. He has played alongside Tavares at times, but that's usually when his regular line mates are injured. So, Yeah, it does say a lot for their development system there. I mean, they really haven't had a lot. They've made trades that have brought in talent, and they made some decent signings over the years, and some not so decent. But that's a whole other story.
They
That's
did
true.
decently well with Matt Martin, though. I would say that he's
Yeah.
probably better. He probably panned out better than what he expected to be.
Yeah, but if you're talking, like a guy that was like, like a Strome who came into the league and there was this high expectations for him that at the very least he'd be a quality second line guy, and it just hasn't panned out. You have to wonder, okay, maybe it's not a case of he just isn't a fit with Edmonton, but might be a better fit somewhere else. Maybe it's just that he's just not that good after all.
Oh my god, damn it, Johnny. Hold on.
What did he do?
What's he doing?
No, Johnny, I just want to tell you the power that we have, and thank you for telling me about Gun Cannon's tweet. He made a Leaving Las Vegas thing. I'm going to retweet this. It's
Oh, he did say, I'm terrible with this damn live chat, by the way. He also said that if Carolina is really strapped, that there's a guy leaving Las Vegas who has some extra money that he could use.
I know. Hold on. I'm waiting for it to refresh because my Twitter, how great is this?
So I'll say this real quick then. I threw it on the chat because I didn't know if I should say it or not.
Okay.
But does this development piece in the Islanders cause Tavares to figure out that he just doesn't want to be there?
Ooh. Boy, that's interesting.
I think it's something that he has
It's
to take
up
into
for
account.
discussion.
Because he still
I mean,
hasn't signed from what I've seen.
Nope.
Nice one, Mark.
No, he was sitting with Garth Brooks.
Yeah. No, but it is something that has to be taken into consideration. Now, most of the talk with Tavares and the reason that he hasn't signed is all tied around this whole thing of them getting an arena deal into, to construct a new arena in Belmont in the next couple of years. But you do have to figure, though, I mean, the club's performance and, the development of the players. I mean, how well is that going to work out? Oh, and I nearly forgot. I mean, they did develop one pretty decent guy there besides Tavares, and that was Kyle Opozo.
That's true.
Yeah.
Here is what our
There
boy
you
Gun
go.
Cannon put up.
Nice.
Leaving Las Vegas.
Nice. I like it. Well done.
that's
quick.
awesome.
That's great. Yeah.
Quick, and it looks
Well
amazing.
done.
Oh, that looks fantastic.
Yeah. That
for
is
a new
really
logo.
fantastic. Yeah.
No shit, right?
Who did this? Who did this? Scotty?
He is at Gun Cannon 15 on Twitter. He is
Well done.
he is fantastic.
Yeah, and he did it quick. Like you said, I mean, he did that quickly. If he just got that based off of our
That was during the show.
chat here during the show.
Yeah.
Well done, man.
He is based in the Beeham in New York. So shout out to him.
Damn. Well done.
Thanks,
I-
dude.
I-
That's awesome.
It's just it's so impressive. I know I keep saying well done, but because it is.
No, like it's
so
it's
quickly.
perfectly like a movie, like just like the drama that this movie is.
We'll have to put that up on the Facebook so that people can see it because
Yes.
the iTunes people are going to miss out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely put that up there.
So we will do that. I will do that right immediately. So,
Awesome.
and then people have something to look forward to when the music comes out. I don't want to put this in my porn file. Well, maybe I do. Who's to say? Here we are.
So I do like how when you click save as, your porn file is the first one that shows up. Because
Look, man,
mine
don't
does
judge.
too. But that's
Wow. There you go.
just kidding.
Not
Not
really.
really.
Speaking of, banging it out, Edmonton Oilers trying to bang out Yossi Jokinen after a quick happen there. What went wrong? What happened?
He's 34. That's what happened.
So?
He used to be good. Up to a couple of years ago, he was still pretty good. But yeah,
Is Chiarelli feeling the heat?
Oh yeah, boy, is he?
You think?
little bit right now. Well, the talk is that I mean, apart from Strome, I mean, Strome is only kind of rumored right now. I mean, the Jussi Jokinen thing, apparently that's for real. Apparently they've sent a memo around to their other 30 his other 30 peers around the league to gauge interest in him. Now he's only on a 1-year deal, I think, for 1.1 mil. So he's not expensive to move, but God, at this stage in his career, I really don't think there's much of a market for him.
No, I don't think so either.
Does anybody else envision like an AOL like message room that all the GMs are on?
Oh,
that
of
like
course.
I'm
somebody
sure that's
sends
there.
out a message that's like, "Hey, we got a player. Who wants in?"
Oh, you got to figure they got something like that. AOL Messenger didn't die; it was just taken over by the NHL, and the GMs use it exclusively.
Exactly. It's just their little vortex.
It's a one little GM chat room.
I would love to I would have loved to figured out Las Vegas in their building stage, and it's a missed opportunity. I hope someone did something with that, because if they didn't, like if they didn't follow them around and like document like before the first year, man, are they missing out? I don't know why I'm thinking Vegas. Vegas, I write about Vegas a lot, and I feel bad because it's not a Vegas blog, but they're so entertaining.
They are.
Even when we're
and-
talking about Peter Chiarelli, we're going right to Vegas again.
Yeah, going to Vegas.
You
again.
know what,
But
Scotty?
now-
I feel like you should just double down on it.
yeah. Right. Well, because you're gonna have to you're gonna have to follow up when the inevitable crash hits, which may be happening now. Because,
Yeah.
but it was only because of the goaltending. Just because they were forced to go with
They're on their
with their force
57
with their
goaltending.
yeah, exactly. I mean, they had the lead in that game last night against the Rangers, and they were up 4-2, and the Rangers just 4 unanswered goals in the third for the 6-4 win. I mean, now part of it, let's face it, they also didn't help themselves defensively. They kind of collapsed a bit there, but even so. Oh, you got to figure if Fleury or Subban, or even if Mr. Dansk, who was having a hell of a debut as a third stringer, for God's sake.
Yeah.
If one of those guys had been in there and been healthy, I think that's a game they take from the Rangers, because the Rangers, they're very fragile. They're the fragile team right now. Montreal was there fragile with them for a little bit, but they're feeling a little more happier in Montreal now that they've had 3 wins in their last 4 games. Things are looking a little bit more up now that they've discovered, hey, we can score too.
Yeah, exactly.
So, they're feeling a little bit better, but things are really, really difficult there with the Rangers right now. There's a real sense in the rumor mill in the last few days that they're seriously in the hunt for a deal. Al, I don't know, did you guys talk about it earlier in the show where basically almost all their management was taken in the Senators Habs game on Monday?
No.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Glenn Sather was there. The team president, Glenn Sather, was there. The assistant GM, Jim Schoenfeld, consultant, Doug Risebrow, and one of their pro scouts was there. Gilles Leger was also in attendance, and they were taking that in. So right away, the automatic assumption is that they were scouting the Habs, either Alex Galchenyuk or Andrew Shaw.
I can't wait until the story comes out that their flight just got delayed.
I know. And they just said, well, hell, there's a game. What the hell? Let's go watch. Yeah, it's a game in Ottawa. There's plenty of good seats still available. Let's go watch.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's kind of the buzz going around since Sunday, and that, and the fact that Alain Vigneault, basically the head coach, his job seems to be sort of day to day right now.
Aren't we all, though, Lyle? Aren't we all?
Yeah, well, he's definitely feeling it now. I mean, the word before Tuesday's game there against Vegas is if they had lost that game, Vigneault was going to be done. So. He lives to coach another day, but if he's kind of day to day here, how much longer is this going to last? Because if they can't find any suitable trades, and at this time of the year, it's very, very difficult to make a deal that's going to have an immediate positive impact for your club. So if you can't make a trade, what's next? You fire your coach, and that could be what happens in the next week or so if they don't turn things around.
Oh boy, fun times in New York, let me tell you.
That was fun times in New York.
You know what? It couldn't have happened to a better team,
right?
Well, they were kind of on the razor's edge last season. They were really close to tumbling last season too, but then they kind of righted the ship by about the midway point. But yeah, when they traded Derek Stepan and they got rid of a reliable backup in Antti Ranta, There was some real genuine concern there about how they were going to make out. Yes, they did the step and move and bought out Dan Girardi to free up cap space to bring in Kevin Shattenkirk, because the idea was he provide more mobility in the back end, and he's provided that, and he's provided points, but he has a fatal flaw in his game, is that he's awful in his own zone. Which say what you will about Dan Girardi. I mean, say what you will about Dan Girardi. Yeah, he was slow, but he blocked shots and he was a physical guy.
Are we talking about Kevin Shattenkirk?
No, Dan Girardi in comparison to Kevin.
But Larry Brooks has already taken Kevin Shattenkirk to task, which I thumbs up. Congratulations.
How long did it take him to type that out, I wonder?
Oh, Lyle, he's been doing it since training camp.
He actually started it last year in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's like, I know this son of a bitch is going to quiet down.
That's exactly what it sounded like.
Okay. Quiet down. E.
The sad part is that this is real. Like, we're not even making this up.
I said quiet. Turn that down.
How dare you people make noise at an NHL draft? Shut up!
By this point, we've also gone through multiple shirt changes. So, I mean, this is.
That draft was so memorable, my gosh.
Oh my god.
Oh.
It's the bevy of drafts. It's just
okay. Apart from it being the first draft where we were all together for the first time, but just the potpourri of weirdness and interesting and weird that happened during that draft was just phenomenal.
like, I honestly, boy howdy, we have been great, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh yeah. I still haven't found any place else in the world that serves rum and coke by the pitcher like they do in Montreal.
No one could. No, I think it's illegal now. Honestly, I think it's illegal now.
I'm gonna buy a pitcher just to do it in my house.
Yes, just show it up. Yeah.
Oh my god.
But anyway.
Man. Anyway, any hoozles.
That should be something we should offer up. Yeah, behind the Face-Off Hockey Show.
By the way, speaking, yeah,
Stories of
exactly.
the Face-Off Hockey Show.
Oh,
yeah. It just ends up being us drunk.
Just
talking
drunken reminiscence
about past drafts.
of previous drafts past, and yeah. Oh, and Lyle's gonna bring up the Joe Thornton trade again, and
Still one of our best.
still is
one of our
but
best.
Anyway,
In any case,
Oh, it's 3-0 Astros now. This game's over.
Come on, Stros.
oh, what inning are they in?
Second.
Second.
Fine.
No, this isn't over, you fool. You
No, it's
fool.
fine.
This ain't over.
No,
It's
this
fine.
was a pitcher's duel. Pitcher's duel season.
I gotta tell you one thing on a non-hockey
Actually,
note that. Go. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Johnny.
I'm not even sure I watched a single baseball game this year.
It happens. Don't worry about it. I think I watched a couple minor league games, but yeah.
And I've watched one single football game this season, and I was in London to watch
fair.
it.
I haven't seen one game because I went to the Wrigley and saw the Cubs play.
There you go. Yeah.
That's true. You did.
No, I've been driving Tina nuts by watching a lot of playoff baseball. She doesn't mind watching like one game a night or something like that. But when it was earlier on and I was sitting down watching 3, she's like, "Okay, that's enough."
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, it's time to watch something
3
else now.
games. My God, how much time do you have? That's like 12 hours.
I'm a freelance writer. I
was gonna
schedule
say,
all my work
he's
early in the
retired.
morning, so I have my afternoons and evenings free to watch baseball. So
So you're like a college student.
I'm crazy that way.
I've lost 2 pens this shit. I found one of them. I'm just losing pens.
Oh, by the way, I gotta say though, on a non-hockey note, but still kind of sort of sports though, I'm happy this November because I am looking forward to next week. Because next week the ESPN 30 for 30 debuts its 4th season with its documentary on the Nature Boy Ric Flair.
That is true. I am looking forward to that.
That one, it looks like this was definitely a warts and all bio. That's for sure, including the man himself. But yeah, there's, man. It from what I've seen of the little trailers and clips, this is a journey into the heart of darkness as well as into Just the highs and lows.
It's something that the WWE films couldn't make.
Yeah.
They're great for documentaries, but they can't make this one.
No. Well, and I mean, even the documentaries that they make. I mean, let's face it, they're certainly not.
There's a bias.
Oh, absolutely. It's like
a little bit.
Nothing that reflects badly. Nothing that reflects badly.
But it's good to see, like, it's good to see the wrestlers as human. I guess, for lack of a better way to say that.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, and by the way, I also a couple weeks ago finished the biography of Roddy Piper that was written by his kids. And if you were, I had, this is probably going to kind of make Roddy look like really sweet and kind and all that. And it was a very, very well balanced book. So I highly recommend it if you get a chance to read it. Check it out.
I just bought a book about all the sports rules when they first came to be. So I got that going.
Cool.
So.
I read Bill Goldberg's autobiography. Is that close?
Nice.
How was that?
It's called Spears and Jackhammers and Cars.
How
was it actually?
It wasn't bad actually. It talked about a little bit about his time in football and then how he got into wrestling and then like a bit about his wrestling career. But I think it was also written in
third person.
Like 2005 or something like that. So it was kind of in the middle of his like wrestling career.
Yeah.
So
you get the full story. Third person.
In third person.
And it was written in third person. It was written in 2005 and in the third person.
Was weird. The forward was a long walk to the ring. So I don't know how it worked, but it got the job done. There's a lot of music and drums in the background and some extras walking next to him. I don't know how it worked, but it worked.
But he got there.
Amazing. Thoughts on Shipachev? Anything that?
I heard you guys talking about it earlier in the show. I don't really have very much more to add. I mean, other than I think it was Johnny made the point or asked that if this was a case of a guy who just was too old really to kind of adjust the NHL level. And I think that's a fair assessment. I think if he was a 20-year-old kid, he would probably have had a better opportunity than a guy, a 30-year-old coming in who spent his entire career playing in the KHL. I know that there were some Blue Jackets fans that were kind of hoping that maybe the Blue Jackets might pick him up off waivers or maybe just cough up a draft pick to get him because Shipachev had played alongside of Artemi Panarin during the 2016 World Championships. They had pretty good chemistry there. In fact, I believe those two were, if they weren't the leading scorers of that tournament, they were among the leading scorers. But the Blue Jackets said, no, thank you, not interested. So
yeah, this seems to be the same old song and dance with players that come over from Russia.
Hold on a minute. The Blue Jackets didn't want some kind of enigmatic Russian on their team. Nikolai Zhurdev sighs completely. Like,
yeah, exactly. But no, it was just a case of this is a guy who this wasn't a case of a player who was it was a difficult fit with one particular team, and yeah, if he just went somewhere else, he'd have a better chance. It's just. He just had difficulty adjusting to the NHL game, and it happens, especially, as I said, for a guy who, we keep hearing, how many times we hear this every season? Oh, the best kept secret, the best player outside of the NHL is usually some guy who's playing in Sweden or playing in Russia, has played his whole career there.
We heard that about Kari Ramo.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. We've heard this so many times.
And Brunstrom and
though Brunstrom, to be fair, was a younger guy though. Brunstrom was younger. I mean, so there was that thought for him. But in most cases, so yeah, I mean, a lot of these guys, they're like late 20s or right around 30, and it's like, oh, best kept secret, blah 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 blah, and then they come over and they can't play. They just can't play the NHL level.
But I feel like it's different. So you said that Brunstrom was younger, and he actually put in time, and he wasn't terrible.
No,
I'll say it that way.
He did last 3 seasons, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But so when you're 30 and you make a change and it doesn't work, you throw up your hands and you say, fuck it, I'm going back to what I know. When you're 20, you're actually like, nope, you know what? I'm going to stick this out and I'm going to make this work.
Yep.
The 30-year-old's like, no, I have everything I need back there. And I tried something new and it didn't work and I'm done.
Yep. Yeah.
Like it's a very easy difference in 10 years.
Mhm.
Like it's insane how. I mean, you can even see it in some of the Russians, like Kuznetsov.
Yes.
Kuznetsov took what, 3 to 5-ish years
Something
to
like
come
that.
over to the Caps.
He was in his early 20s when he finally came over. They drafted him at 18. So
Yeah, so he finally came over in his early 20s. His first season, he wasn't great, but now he's starting to like move into that. I mean, Samsonov is still in Russia.
mhm.
He was drafted 3 years ago.
True.
I mean,
Samsonov, I
I
was
feel
way
like you
off.
just reach a point where like you're kind of comfortable.
Yep.
And if you move, great. And if it doesn't work, oh well, I
And-
have this backup plan.
And let's be honest, the biggest thing with Kuznetsov, and we all said it, is like, why would he take the pay cut? Because he would be losing $3 million right off the hop, at least.
But the reason why, well, the opportunity to play alongside Ovi,
Oh, of course.
and yeah, to kind of prove himself at the NHL level, because for its flaws that we like to point out, the NHL is still the premier hockey league in the world,
And boy, has he proven himself. Holy crap, I love that kid.
boy, has he ever! I mean, Capitals are having some
He's gonna be my
defensive
assistant.
issues, but Caps are having some
pick,
defense.
Johnny.
Caps are having some defensive issues,
Yeah.
but my God, their offense is still chugging along just nicely. And yeah, Kuznetsov, it's a good thing they've got him and got him in his prime, because yeah, he's becoming the engine of that offense now.
Yeah.
But even Russian players before that, like Semin didn't come over when he was first drafted.
No,
Nope.
no, he didn't. No,
Ovi did, but that's because the season got canceled.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, but I feel like Ovi was coming over one way or the other.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh boy. And Malkin would have been over sooner, but of course, then there was some dicking around there with his team not wanting to let him go, so they had to kind of do it almost like a throwback to the Cold War, smuggle him out of the country sort of crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, but yeah.
But I do
o-
kind of agree with the like best player outside of the NHL thing. It always tends
Yeah.
to be somebody who's played in the same league for a really long time,
Yep.
and gets signed to one of these random contracts, comes to the NHL and is like, nope, this is not what I signed up for,
Mhm.
and just fucks off back to their home country.
Well,
like
and this is the thing. I mean, they won't even go to the minors just to get a month or two of experience at the North American game, at the North American level, so you can adjust, move up. Didn't want to do that.
But so I kind of agree with that, to be honest, which is sad because I shouldn't. But I kind of agree with the fact that, like, if you're sold on the fact that you're going to be playing in the NHL and you don't adjust to it within the first like 10 games, and the team's like, all right, we're going to send you to the minors. I'm sorry, that's not what I signed up for.
Right.
You sold me on me being a top 6 forward on this team and being a big part of this team. If you want me to be that, then I'll figure it out. But you have to give me more than 10 games.
But I'll tell you, I figured this could kind of dampen that enthusiasm for NHL GMs to go out and sign these guys that are approaching 30 or in their 30s, playing in Russia or Swiss leagues or Sweden or wherever. This could kind of put a damper on that, because they're looking at everybody's going to look at the Shipachyov thing, and the fact that they paid him over $4 million a season for 2 years to have him come over and do this, and it didn't even pan out, didn't even last a month. I mean, that's gonna, I think, kind of put a damper on that for a while. I'm not saying you'll never see it again, but I think a lot of people are going to look at that and go, "Oh yeah, but look what happened with Shipachyov and."
But why do they do that? Like, why is that even an option?
For what? For them to get?
No, for them to go to another league and find a 30-year-old and be like, I'm going to give you $4.5 million. There are players that have been playing in the NHL for 12 years by the time they're 30 who aren't making $4.5 million a year.
Maybe it's the diamond.
Like,
in the
why do
rough.
you even take that bet?
I mean, with Vegas, I think it's a matter of it's passe, but it's a gamble.
Yeah, not really passe. It's a cliche, but regardless,
it's something that ends with a French E at the end.
I get what you're throwing down there, Scotty. I get
with a hyphen.
Exactly.
Or,
E
an
yeah,
accent.
hyphen.
Yeah.
Sometimes teams just feel like they need to dance with the devil, you know?
Well, in this instance, I mean, this is
Devils.
This is an expansion team that was trying to grab as what talent wherever it can get it to try and ice a competitive team. So I could totally understand why George McPhee did what he did. I mean, you know, it would have been better off if it had been a 1-year deal, but what the hell, 2 years by the sound thing is going to be mutually terminated anyway, regardless. But it was something that in this regard was worth the gamble for this thing, but it's not something that maybe you would see, you know, other teams do. Though if you're a team like perhaps the Arizona Coyotes, maybe that's why. And to get onto the Coyotes here for a second, and I just want to touch very quickly on a topic that's very near and dear to all our hearts, and that's analytics.
Oh
Yes.
God! I thought you were
Only for
going
the
back
reason,
to
oh, no,
Judge
only for
Fred
the reason for
Philby
that.
T-bomb.
The only the only reason why, and I think Scotty, you know why I'm going down this road, is because the GM they brought in, John Shaka, supposed to be an analytics guru. That was one of the things that was, I guess, behind his hiring in the first place, being the youngest GM in the league, was analytics. And so he builds a team, or he's trying to build a team. Yes, he wants to go with young guys and things like that, obviously, but he's looking at analytics, looking at puck possession. And here we've got a team that flat out stinks on toast right now. They're friggin' awful. Okay? So
This
what
is
does this say
basically the
about
Vegemite of
what does
the
this-
NHL right now.
yeah, but what does this say about, you know, analytics? You know, I mean, here's a guy who was brought in largely in part because of his analytic skills. The same thing as what we saw with Florida last season when they kicked Dale Talon upstairs, brought in the analytics gurus, who then a month into the season stupidly fired their coach when they were playing 500 hockey. Yeah, they were off to a slow start, but they weren't terrible. And they fired their coach in the worst way possible, leaving him and his assistant coach basically sitting there waiting for a friggin' Uber outside the arena. Just basically team bus pulls away. See you later.
And we've been to that arena. There's nothing near
And
it.
there's
There
nothing
really is
there.
nothing.
And yeah, and what happens? The Panthers got worse. They didn't get better, they got worse. And to the point where what happened in the offseason very quickly, they got rid of all the analytics guys and brought back Dale Talon to kind of fix the mess. Because let's be honest, those
A
guys
hockey
set
guy.
that team back at least a year. In their
Good.
So what does that say about, you know, putting guys in management positions if supposedly their strength is analytics? Well, look at the Coyotes this year, look at the Panthers last year.
It says
that
that there's
say
a
about the
difference
strength of
between math and hockey.
Yeah.
Yes. And it also says that analytics are a tool. Analytics are not the end all.
Hard and fast.
Exactly. Exactly.
It also proves that young kids aren't good at anything.
Yeah.
Damn millennials.
Exactly.
No,
I
And
guess
numbers are
you know what?
stupid.
There might be a shake up in Boss and Phoenix.
but
Uh,
you know what's
Yeah.
for me what's a damn shame though about the Coyotes playing so badly? They've got the rookie of the year playing out of his mind there.
Clayton
in
Keller.
Clayton Keller.
Oh,
Yeah.
That
That
kid,
kid is
is
awesome.
fantastic. He's the only thing on that team worth cheering for right now. And I
well,
mean,
and for the utter demise of the Capitals' worst record ever.
yeah,
True story.
could well
I'm
be.
definitely cheering for that. I'm not even joking.
You
If
are
they win
totally allowed
7
to.
games this year, and that will be just like the Caps winning the Stanley Cup.
But I mean, it's just so damn soul crushing. You know, I mean, how hard is that going to be? I mean, for this kid who's developed. I mean, I hope he can keep this up all year long. I really do, because I mean, it would be, how amazing would it be if the guy who wins Rookie of the Year played for the worst team in the league?
mhm.
You know,
The ironic.
Would that happen?
Yeah, the Caps did it, didn't it? No,
Oh,
Ovechkin
yeah.
do that.
yeah, he did.
And
Yep.
weren't the Oilers were pretty terrible when Connor McDavid won?
Oh, yeah.
McDavid
Yeah.
didn't win Rookie of the
No,
Year.
they weren't that bad.
Oh, that's right.
McDavid didn't
McDavid
win Rookie
didn't
of the
win.
Year. No, he didn't win. But this
Oh,
is
okay,
the thing.
touche.
But look at
Touche.
all those.
But he got hurt for 6 months, though.
That's
Remember?
Yeah. But I mean, how damaging is this going to be also? But for the other guys there, for Max Domi, who was supposed to be one of the key parts of their improvement, for
Anthony
for
Duclair.
Dvorak and the list goes on. All these young guys, and all they're just getting this soul cry. I mean, we saw this movie before. We
Yeah.
saw it in Edmonton not too long ago.
Doesn't this also, though, just add fuel to the entire fire of how I didn't say tire fire of how Arizona shouldn't be there anymore. How they should have moved somewhere else at this point. Like, even though the team is terrible and it's not the team's fault, doesn't this just add fire to that?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, well, I definitely think it's gonna.
Like, it's not their fault at all, but I feel like this just piles on top of it.
Yeah. No, you're right there. I think, and especially if they have if they end up with the worst record in the league this season, or
Ever.
if they
The
end
worst
up
record
breaking
ever.
the Caps record for a single season futility, well, yeah, you just know the pundits are just gonna pile on. They're just going to pile onto this, and it's just going to be, what's the point? Move them to Quebec City, even if they still stink out the joint. At least 18,000 fans will come out every night to cheer for them, and maybe having those fans there, maybe playing in a real hockey market will make them play better. Blah 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 blah. Whatever. I puked the end, but
It's 5-0 now, Astros. This game's definitely over. Definitely over. And they're through the second. It's the end of the second inning. This game's over. They're 2/9 of the game over.
I'm gonna wake up tomorrow morning and find out that that the Dodgers won it friggin' 20-19.
And the reason why the reason why they won is
gonna wake up tomorrow morning and it's still going to be on. From what I've heard,
it's still going to be playing. It's going to be the 27th inning. They're still going to be playing. All the fans are passed out unconscious in the stands.
And Vince Scully's doing the play-by-play because Joe Buck's like dead in the corner because he shot him.
Oh God, I would love that. Joe,
Actually,
Vince Scully making 90.
If it goes long enough for Vince Scully to shoot Joe Buck, I'm perfectly fine with that.
Oh man, if Vince Scully maybe
I will sign the
Scully calls a
petition
better
to not
game than
give Vince Scully the death penalty.
By the way,
at that point,
two things. I also bought this on eBay. It's the 1983-84 Baltimore Skipjacks program.
You're finding some of the really cool stuff, my friend.
I'm doing this for a project that's never going to see the light of day.
Oh,
but, here, first off, Brooks Robinson for Crown Gasoline.
That's looking pretty normal, actually, Brooks. Nice work.
Yeah. And then secondly, there's a speed shot competition that went through all the malls, and this is 83, and they're doing virtual slap shots, and then the timing of the slap shots, and you can get everything. It's going to be at Glen Burnie Mall soon, kids. Get on that.
That looks like a guy swing. That looks like a clip art of a guy swinging a golf club.
It does. Doesn't
and they put a hockey stick into his hand.
Exactly
it's amazing with this. Like this program is fantastic because it's got this guy that resembles old Stan from the 80s on this Miller highlight shot. It's amazing.
That is actually Stan from the 80s. You didn't realize it.
That is just a wonderful
Stan
little
was
package of
fixing the
nostalgia.
road outside of where they were taking pictures, and they were like, "Hey, can we take a picture?" And he ended up on the program.
Hey, I guess we'll have to get a Miller deal now. All right, real quick before we go, because I have another podcast to record tonight, and I have roast in the crap pot.
We made this happen tonight.
I love the great job, guys. I love the convo.
We don't even have a game. Just pick them.
By the way, I just want to say this. We'll have a game next week. We already have one patron, so we'll have to do a shout out for him. Last week in the pickup segment, the Kumja happened. Johnny P's the big winner.
Hey.
Yes. The Moncton Wildcats, 11 goals. My Brisbane Bros band Armada featuring Herman Manderchuk with 10. Lyles, Katie Bathurst Titantrons with 9. And Marks Ramuski Oceanic with 7.
I was so close.
Wasn't too bad.
A
little close spread there.
A little bit. We're going with the OL this week. The
OL.
Mark with a C, you will be up first. You can pick from any of the 22 OL teams.
Yeah, it's looking to me, just based on the map here that I'm looking at, that that the Owen Sound.
Oh, I like that.
Sound Attack are going to be the most central team in this league. So I'm going with the Owen Sound Attack.
All right. Lyle Richardson.
Well, as you know, as always, I stick with my wrestling theme, and I'm going to go with a blatantly obvious one with the Sarnia Sting.
Nice, good one. I wrote about this week. There's a kid from Maryland on this team, which I was shocked and chagrined about. Is this roster updated? No, of course it's not updated. But Adam Varga is on this team. He is from Bel Air, Maryland, which is like that's north of Baltimore. So you know he's legit. And I'm going to pick the Mississauga Steelheads because that's who he plays for as a 16-year-old coming from the Little Caps system.
Wow.
That's pretty for this area, Lyle. That's the cream of the crop for travel teams.
Oh yeah,
because he's traveling to Arlington, Virginia, which is about an hour and change away from Bel Air, Maryland, to play on that little team. And now he's at 16 years old.
More than that.
Oh, I'm sure, probably an hour and a half, close to.
God.
And he's now in Mississauga, being a 16-year-old Marylander kid trying to make it in the OHL. So shout out to Adam Varga.
Well, that
cool.
kind of travel he's doing. I mean, geez, that's almost like youth prairie hockey travel, for God's sake.
Right?
Yep.
And that's just for
That's
practice.
really cool.
That's just for, oh my God.
Practice.
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 We talking practice. Mark Johnny P. I got your Pitanzas confused. I got Sean Leahy.
Weird. Wow.
Got Sean Leahy syndrome.
Sean Leahy-itis. I'm going to go with the Hamilton Bulldogs, who both Hamilton and Bulldogs are both 8 letters.
I love your thinking there, Johnny P.
I love this.
Yes.
Johnny's bit could be one of the best.
I think this bit's going to last you all season long, my friend.
You know what?
By the way,
15 years, and this is the first time anybody's thought of this.
No, and we're
Well, I'm
stupid.
just lazy, and I love my wrestling shtick thing. So yeah.
I want to say I can't do it. Hold on. Damn it. Oh, come on.
I like
Figure-
Mark's too. Mark has a good one. No.
Mark's got the
Oh,
central.
why did I
Look, I mean, I just had to pull up. I'm not going to have a map of all the leagues. I don't think though. So I'm going to have to.
By
think
the
this
way,
one through.
I might have to throw in a crazy one next week.
We can't just change all willy nilly.
Oh,
Well,
we
no,
usually
that's
do
next week.
Kumja OHL WHL. I might have to throw the NCAA in here.
Ooh.
64 teams.
Ooh.
And then Mark has to find a center, and then Johnny has to do all kinds of names. The math will be fantastic.
I just eyeball mine. I mean, I'm not doing any math.
Early. If that's what it's going to be, I need to know more than 5 minutes before I'm supposed to do this. Because
Hey, I
you
sent
know
the
how hard
rundown
it is
last.
to.
I sent the rundown last night. Stupid.
I know, but I didn't look at it until now, and then I saw
not my
OHL, and I
fault.
had to count team names. Do you know how hard it is to count letters when they're not the same font all the time? Like Bulldogs doesn't look like it's as long as Hamilton, but there's 2 L's in the middle of it. It makes
That's
it
usually how you spell
shorter.
bulldog.
But here's the thing. I understand what he's saying because it's lowercase, so it's just little slashes, so it
Yeah.
doesn't look as long as if you put it all in caps.
Like you have
Yeah,
to,
yeah.
have to
It must have been
literally
cold
look
that
at
day.
it and be like, all right, which teams are like visually close to each other, and then you start counting numbers. like-
Jesus Christ. By the way, shout out to my boy Alan Varga. Look at him, left side there, 67, right on top of the billboard for the tickets for your upcoming home games for your Mississauga Steelheads. I might have to get a Mississauga Steelheads jersey now.
There you go.
I
Support my
feel
Maryland
like it. I
kids.
feel like that would be a great idea.
Try to get him on the show. As a
Have we
16
picked all our teams?
Yeah, we're done. We're
Oh, okay. I thought Mark still had to pick. Sorry.
No, he picked first. We're
Oh,
going-
duh. Sorry, Mark.
sorry.
Yeah.
Some timers for Lyle is kicking in.
Yes.
Um,
yes.
Did you forget that Mark and I are different people?
No, I'm not suffering with Leahy-itis, not like Scotty is tonight. So.
Leahy-itis can be cured with limes. Fun fact.
Yes.
Lyle,
You
thanks,
eat a
buddy.
lot
It's
of
been real.
them.
It's been fun.
Oh, it's always a pleasure, guys.
Oh,
You
it
know,
was a good.
dude,
I
how
love the
many
discussion.
years we've been doing this now? How many years I've been on the show with the guys?
27.
13, 14.
13, 14 years.
48 at least.
52.
Wow, we've been doing this for 75 years, and we appreciate you all for our diamond anniversary.
Always a pleasure.
All right, thanks, buddy. See you
Talk
next
to you
week.
next week, guys.
There he goes.
I
Lowry's
can't wait
Suspension
till
Hockey
our
Diamond.
100th year.
HockeyNews.com, BI Guardian and Bleacher Report for no slideshows. Johnny P.
I'm going to give a shout out to Gun Cannon. I have a new follower on Facebook, or Twitter. On the Twitter, started following me. Going to give a shout out to the Astros, who I obviously won the World Series. They're up 5-0 in the 3rd inning, and when they don't win the World Series,
It's fine. It's fine.
I'm not going to watch any of this fucking game anyway.
By the way, it's only the 3rd inning. The game started an hour ago.
I know. Like, so I heard a stat, right? That the last game was, it was either the last game or the game before, was 5 hours. It was 13-12, and it didn't go extra innings. I was like, this is why people don't watch baseball. Sorry. I do have an Astros hat from a really long time ago when they had the really cool logo that was just the outline of the star.
Yeah.
It was basically like a gangster hat at the time. It was like rivals of the Raiders hats, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, Jen has the Tequila Sunrise jersey, so she's pulling for
Cool.
the Astros.
That one's awesome.
Yeah.
Just a tequila. Sorry. What else? Shout out to Hudson. Good work on making it through a month.
Yeah, he did well. Bit touch and go there for a while.
Figured as
yeah.
much. Looking forward to month 2 where Hudson gets to stay at my house.
That's true. It's going to be a big test.
So I'll clean some stuff up.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's all. A shout out to Mark and Brittany, who have also made it through a month of having a family.
Yes.
You the real MVPs.
That's the tough part. Oh, man. All right.
All right. Mark with a C.
Shout out to Brittany for putting up with me being around 24/7 for the last month. It's gonna be interesting going back to work, but I think it'll be good in some ways. It's gonna be definitely a shock to the system having to show up somewhere on time and do things.
You mean not sleep and then go to work?
But yeah, so shout out to Brittany because she's killing it. And shout out to the Safety Dance. That's probably my favorite Men Without Hats song. That's it. That's all I got.
All right, cool. I will give our Patreon shout out, Mitch. Boy, Mitch. We met him at the Puck Daddy or Merrick vs. Wyshynski party at the draft thing. Yeah,
Mitch is fantastic. He's a fantastic person.
Dude, he is such an awesome person. I love him so much. He's such a wealth of knowledge, both of hockey and of life in general. So, he's a great dude.
The next time we meet Mitch, though, he has to bring out. Didn't he have he was living with somebody? I think that he needed to bring out with him.
Think so.
Yes. No?
I don't remember much of that night, so I can't.
Yeah, I probably remember way more of that night than you do.
Dude, like Jen was surprised. Like she's still shocked that I remember my PIN code as I was completely drunk. Then yeah, it's a fantastic. So thank you for Mitch for that. So if you want to go, patreon.com/faceoffhockeyshow is if you want to donate, give a little $1 here and there. You know, a little bit helps a lot. Little tip jar. Think of it as our tip jar.
Tickets too.
Yeah, he was. He was the winner of the passes and everything. So Mitch is a long time listener, first time patron. So there's that going for us. Shout out to thrift stores. Shout out to eBay auctions. Shout out to the pot roast I'm going to go eat right now before doing the shout out to Todd Butts because I'll be doing a radio show with him soon. So that's it. That's all. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for indulging. Thank you all for interacting because Gun Cannon at Gun Cannon 15 for doing that Lehman Las Vegas, man. Holy crap, that was awesome. And quick and dirty, just like our show. Thanks, everybody. For Johnny P. Mark with the C, I'm Scotty Waz. Take care of yourself and someone else. Has been Face Off Hockey Show on faceoffhockeyshow.com. It's also on Blog Talk Radio. Part of the Face Off Hockey Show media faction. Until next time, kids. Face Off HCKY shows the Twitter. FOHS Radio is the Facebook. We'll see you then. Peace.
Yeah, smoke a little weed and we can all get high. Yeah. Not a product of the slums, never claimed to be one. I spit so hot I make your nerves go numb. Eardrums, beats are measured heavy in tons. Flipping these blunts between my fingers and my thumbs. Rely on the music, know you